So today we'll start off with tumors of gallbladder. Two small topics: tumors of gallbladder and tumors of pancreas. Now, gallbladder tumors are more common in women than in men, and the peak incidence will occur somewhere around 70s. Okay, more common in women and mostly occur in their 70s. Now, it is usually a very slow growing type of tumor. So, by the time it is detected, it is so widespread that it is almost inoperable. Most of the times, by the time it is detected, it will already be too late. You won't be able to operate on it. Okay? The main causes of tumors of gallbladder will include cholelithiasis, so stone formation, gallstone formation, as well as cholecystitis, gallbladder inflammation. Okay, they're not the same thing. Even though cholecystitis will have cholelithiasis in it, cholecystitis is not the only cause of cholecystitis. Okay, so in most cases of cholecystitis, you will see some stone formation, but you can see stone formation other than cholecystitis as well. Meaning you can have stone formation without the inflammation of bladder as well. Sometimes it happens. Anyway, if the patient is involved or if the patient is suffering from either cholelithiasis or cholecystitis, it is common for them to develop these tumors. Secondly, people who are exposed to chemicals, specifically chemical carcinogens such as um, rubber. So, chemical, one second, chemical carcinogens, specifically individuals exposed to rubber or individuals working in rubber industry. Okay, so that is the second cause. Any person who has been working for a long period of time in the rubber industry and they're inhaling the fumes in the rubber industry, they are coming across the products of rubber industry, they generally have a higher incidence of developing tumors of gallbladder or having gallbladder cancer. And there is genetic factors. There is a genetic role, familial role as well to that extent. There might be certain miscellaneous causes. Now, miscellaneous causes may it will include patients who have had gallbladder surgery, previous gallbladder surgery, or previous surgery on biliary tract. Okay? These people have a higher incidence of developing gallbladder cancer. Now, pathologically, the changes that you see, there'll be mainly two types of tumors that you see. One is infiltrative tumor. So, if you look at the pathological changes, firstly, you will see an infiltrative type of tumor. Okay, and you will see a fungating type of tumor. Infiltrative type of tumor is very irregular. Okay, and you will see that the area where the tumor is occurring, that will become very irregular. There'll be a lot of diffuse thickening in that area. Gallbladder wall will have a induration, it will have a dent in it. Induration is essentially a dent. Sometimes you might find very deep ulcers present in that area. Okay, this is causing direct invasion of the gallbladder wall into liver bed. So what happens is, because of this tumor, ulcer is developing in that area, ulcer is developing, and that ulcer is damaging all the way from your gallbladder wall to the liver. Okay, that is infiltrative type. It is going deeper and deeper into the layers, and it is causing damage to the surrounding structures as well. Sometimes fungating type में क्या हो रहा, it will be like a cauliflower like growth. Essentially fungating type looks like this. Hmm. So I don't have an image, I think. No, I don't have an image. Okay, anyway, fungating type essentially आपका gallbladder अगर ऐसा देखें, let us suppose this is the gallbladder and this opens into the cystic duct. ठीक है, यहाँ पर fungating type of tumor is also irregular, but this is a papillary kind of tumor or cauliflower growth of tumor. So essentially this will grow something like this. It will be very friable in the sense it will crumble very easily, but it is growing into the lumen of the gallbladder. Okay? And eventually what will happen is if it grows big enough, it will block the contents of the gallbladder itself. Now gallbladder essentially houses your bile. If this is blocking the gallbladder, what happens is bile does not have enough place to be stored. So that can create a lot of problems in certain patients. It can create jaundice as well. Now, most of these gallbladder tumors that you see will be adenocarcinomas. Almost 95% of the times they will be either papillary or infiltrative, but they are adenocarcinomas. Sometimes 5% of the patient, 5% of these patients, they will have squamous cell carcinomas. Squamous cell carcinoma. Most of the time it is an adenocarcinoma. Sometimes it is a squamous cell carcinoma. And adenocarcinoma हुआ तो या तो papillary type होता, which is this type, cauliflower type, or it can be an infiltrative type. ठीक है. In very rare cases you will see that the patient is having both type of tumors. You will have a squamous and adenocarcinoma type of tumor, because adenosquamous type of carcinoma बोलते. That is rare though, very rare. So that is it about tumors of gallbladder. Mainly occurs because of cholelithiasis or cholecystitis, inflammation of gallbladder, or stone gallstones being present in the patient. And it can occur because of chemical carcinogens. People who are exposed to chemical carcinogens, especially people who work in rubber industry for a long period of time, or it can be because of patients who have had surgery on their biliary tract. Okay, sometimes who have a history of surgery on their biliary tract. Now, the tumor itself will either be infiltrative type, wherein it is going into the deeper layers, causing diffusal thickening, or it is causing induration in the gallbladder wall. Sometimes it will cause deep ulceration, which will start damaging your liver bed, or it can be a fungating type, wherein it is growing into the lumen of the gallbladder. Okay. Then we come to tumors of pancreas. Tumors of pancreas. Now, pancreatic tumor or pancreatic cancer is mostly occurs in the exocrine part of the pancreas. Okay, very common in Western countries and in Japan, and it is more common in men. Especially, incidence occurs after 50 years of age, greater than 50 years. Right. Etiologically, essentially the factors that will contribute to patients who have pancreatic tumors, it is common to find it in people who are smokers, smoking, diet and obesity, a lot of junk food, or people who are obese. They have a higher incidence of developing pancreatic cancer. Chemical carcinogens, if they are exposed to certain chemical carcinogens, or if they have diabetes mellitus, or if the patient has chronic pancreatitis. So whenever a patient has pancreatic tumor, it is common to have them have any of these five. Okay, it can be multiple of these five as well, but at least one of these five is present. Either they are a smoker, who chronic smoker, or they have a very poor diet and they are obese, or they have diabetes mellitus, or chronic pancreatitis, chronic inflammation of their pancreas, or they are exposed to carcinogens, chemical carcinogens on a regular basis. Essentially, what you see is that this pancreatic tumor will be mostly a carcinoma. Okay, and this carcinoma develops from the head of the cancer. Generally, it is a very small tumor, uh, and it will be poorly defined. You will not be able to see the boundary of the tumor very well. Small several tumors can be present in the pancreas, and you will see that these tumors are grayish white in color. They will appear as grayish white masses without any sharp demarcation. You'll not be clearly able to tell that it is the tumor until unless you see the discoloration, and you will not be able to see differentiation of cell. जैसा अलग अलग type of cells दिखते हैं वैसे clearly समझ में नहीं आता ये tumor में. And you will see that this tumor is generally surrounded by pancreatic parenchyma, normal pancreatic parenchyma. ठीक है. The most distinguishing feature about this is that it will be small, it will be homogeneous, poorly differentiated, and grayish white in color. It will be a grayish white mass. Okay, so that is about tumors of pancreas. As I told you, not a lot of detail about it in your syllabus. Now coming to cholecystitis. Cholecystitis or inflammation of gallbladder. This might be acute, where it can be quite problematic. It might be chronic, or in certain special cases, it might be acute superimposed on chronic. So the patient has chronic cholecystitis and they are having attacks of acute cholecystitis. So they are already suffering from acute cholecystitis, chronic cholecystitis for a long period of time, and in between, because of a certain, because of few reasons, they are having acute attacks. Now, chronic cholecystitis is generally more common compared to acute. Acute cholecystitis, or it is a medical emergency, surgical emergency specifically. You'll have to perform surgery very quickly, or else the patient's condition will deteriorate quite a lot. Now, if we talk specifically about acute cholecystitis, based on initiating mechanism, acute cholecystitis is of two types. How it is starting, based on that, there are two types of acute cholecystitis. One is acute acalculous type, and the other is calculus type. Calculus and acalculous refer to the presence of gallstone. Okay. More often than not, almost in 90% of cases, whenever the patient has acute cholecystitis, acute inflammation, where you will have to perform surgery, it is calculus type. They will have a gallstone present, and that gallstone is either obstructing the neck of the gallbladder or it is present in the cystic duct. So it will look something like this. One second. ऐसा रहता हूँ. So that stone, gallstone itself is present either sometimes in the neck of the gallbladder. यहाँ पर neck of the gallbladder means this area. Okay, or it will be present in the cystic duct, that is causing an obstruction to the flow of bile. That obstruction to the flow of bile will start causing problems in your gallbladder, because your gallbladder will start inflaming, and as it starts getting inflamed, it will start creating a lot of pain. ठीक है, स्पेशली अपर abdominal पेन बहुत ज़्यादा होने लगता है, एंड यू विल हैव टू परफॉर्म सर्जरी क्वाइट इमीडिएटली. ठीक है, क्लिनिकल फीचर्स इन both, calculus or acalculus. Acalculus type is not occurring because of gallstone. So just in case you wonder, acalculus type is occurring because of, it can occur because of non-biliary surgery. It can be this occurs in 10% of the cases where calculus is not occurring. This mainly occurs because of multiple injuries. It can be because of various reasons, or it is because of burns, severe burns, or the patient might have had recent childbirth. ठीक है, recently patients who might have gone into parturition, yeah, patients who have severe sepsis leading to severe inflammation, ultimately leading to cholecystitis, or it might be torsion of the gallbladder. Torsion of gallbladder essentially means that the gallbladder is twisting in such a way that the cystic duct is being blocked. Okay, that gallbladder is twisting around, and because of that, the neck of the gallbladder as well as the cystic duct, they are being blocked. Okay, or sometimes it can also be because of diabetes mellitus. All of these are contributory factors for acalculous type of acute cholecystitis. In either of these situations, you will have to perform surgery. Now, pathologically, you will see that the gallbladder becomes very tense and it will become distended. Pathological changes is that gallbladder becomes tense and distended. So it will expand in size and it will become very, very tense. It will become very hard in a way. And you will see that the serosal surface, that will get coated with fibrinous exudates, because there is a lot of inflammation going on. What will happen is fibrinous exudate will start accumulating in that area. Sometimes you will see abscesses being formed in that area, and inside the gallbladder you will see a lot of congestion. You will see hemorrhage occurring. Mucosa will become bright red because of this excessive amount of inflammation. See, the image was not very well, but essentially this is how an inflamed gallbladder looks. Okay. You will see congestion because of inflammatory material. A lot of inflammatory material starts accumulating in that area. Mucosa will become swollen. You will see hemorrhage in that area. Sometimes you will see gangrene occurring in that area, gangrenous necrosis occurring in that area. That specific condition is called gangrenous cholecystitis. And wherever gangrenous necrosis occurs, because of abscess and gangrenous necrosis, this gallbladder's wall will get perforated. ठीक है, जो gallbladder का wall रहता है, it will have a hole inside it. So let us suppose this is the gallbladder wall. There will be a hole inside it like this, and because of this gangrene, and because of the gangrene, what will happen is the contents of the gallbladder will start flowing out into the peritoneum. That will create even a worse situation. It will create sepsis and all of that. That bile which is rupturing and just coming out of the gallbladder, it can start damaging your liver. It will start damaging the structures around your liver in the peritoneum and all of that. Okay, if it ruptures into the peritoneal cavity. Because of this, it is a acute condition. So essentially what will happen is the patient will have severe pain. In clinical features, you will see that the patient has severe upper abdominal pain. Okay, you will see peritoneal irritation, upper abdominal pain, severe type of upper abdominal pain. You will see that the patient will start guarding their area. So essentially they'll put a hand, or they'll twist their body in such a way that they will not let anyone touch that area because it is hurting. So it is an involuntary response. Okay, for example, let us suppose you sprain your hand. Okay, because of whatever reason, let us suppose you fell down or whatever happened, you sprained your wrist or you sprained your hand, you will obviously start guarding it. It is a involuntary response. You would not want to shake that wrist anymore, or you not want others to touch that, or you would not want yourself to involuntary move that wrist. That is called guarding. So the patient will start guarding their abdomen. Okay, you will see guarding, plus you will see hyperesthesia. Hyperesthesia essentially means increased physical sensitivity, especially on the skin. Okay, the skin on the top of the gallbladder in the upper abdominal area, वहाँ पर it will become very sensitive. So even if you lightly touch that area, the patient will start hurt. Will start shouting and all of that. Okay, gallbladder will become very tender and will become palpable. The patient will have immediately fever. They will have leukocytosis. WBC levels will go up quite a lot, and these WBCs will also produce neutrophilia. Sometimes there will be a slight jaundice because there is bile getting accumulated and liver being damaged, especially if there is necrosis. You might see slight jaundice. If you are able to perform surgery within 1 to 3 days, as soon as the acute attack is occurring, within 1 to 3 days, if you are able to perform surgery, the mortality rate will go will go very down. Mortality rate will become less than 0.5%. There is a very, very, very low chance of of the patient dying if surgery is performed in time. Okay, if you are not performing in time, there can be huge risks of complications such as perforations or fistulas. अगर आप सर्जरी परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं तो perforation and fistula होने का चांस कम हो जाता. If you are not performing the surgery in time, that complication, the chance of that complication or the risk of complication will go up. ठीक है, those are all the pathological changes that occur in acute cholecystitis. So whether it is occurring because of gallstone or it is occurring because of other problem other than gallstone, dehydration, yeah, torsion, yeah, sepsis, yeah, diabetes, whatever the reason is, the patient will be in acute condition where you have to perform surgery. Okay, and if you see the patient, you will see that the patient will have severe abdominal pain, upper abdominal pain, and they will start guarding that area. They will have hyperesthesia. That gallbladder will become very tender and palpable. They will have a light fever, leukocytosis, and sometimes slight jaundice as well. Okay. Now coming to chronic cholecystitis. Chronic cholecystitis, this is the more common type of gallbladder disease. Okay, and Gallstones are almost always present in chronic cholecystitis. In almost every case of cholecystitis, chronic cholecystitis, you will see that it is associated with cholelithiasis, presence of gallstone. Okay, almost 99% of the time you will see cholelithiasis is present. More than 99% actually, 99.99 you can say. The pathological changes that you see in this condition is that the gallbladder will become contracted. Okay. Sometimes it might be normal, sometimes it might be enlarged, but more often than not, it will become contracted in size, and the gallbladder wall will become very thick. You will see that if you cut open the gallbladder wall will thicken, and you will see that if you cut it open, the cut surface will show grayish white color. This grayish white color is specifically occurring because of fibrosis and sometimes even calcification. Now, whenever I talk about chronic cholecystitis, it means that cholecystitis, that inflammation has been going on for a long period of time. And if that inflammation has been going on for a long period of time, it means that your body is adapting. It is trying to heal what has already been damaged. And in the process of healing, you will see fibrosis and calcification. Because of that fibrosis and calcification, you see this grayish white discoloration of the gallbladder wall. This is occurring because of fibrosis and or calcification. So it can be both or it can be either one of them. Okay. And you will see that multiple stones are generally present in the lumen. Sometimes they can be combined stone or they can be a single type of stone as well, the gallstone. Okay. Now, these patients obviously will have similar symptoms. They will have what do you call quite a lot of abdominal pain. They will have severe abdominal distension, and they will have epigastric distress. Okay, they will not be comfortable even while sitting down, and generally these symptoms will be slightly vague. Okay, you will not be able to pinpoint whether it is cholecystitis or whether it is something else, because it is not an acute condition. The patient will symptoms will not be as severe per se, in the sense it will not be severe wherein you need immediate treatment, but they will be severe in a different way. Okay, in the sense that the patient will have abdominal distension, their abdomen will distend quite a lot. Okay, it will become very big. They will have epigastric discomfort. Okay, uh, especially after eating a very fatty meal. When they eat a very meal that has a lot of fat in it, the oily meal or something like that, they will have a lot of epigastric discomfort. This is because that fat is generally relying on bile to get metabolized. If chronic cholecystitis hora, your body is trying to produce more amount of bile to deal with that fat. That makes the gallbladder very uncomfortable, and in turn it will make the patient very uncomfortable as well. Whenever they eat a fatty meal, they are not able to process that meal, so that will create a lot of problems. Generally these patients are fat. Okay, and they will most often occur in women, roughly around 40s to 50s. Okay, more often in their 40s and 50s. There will be a constant dull ache in their hypochondrium, right hypochondrium में एक dull ache रहता. It will not be very sharp, as in you will not be able to pinpoint where that pain is occurring, but in the right upper hypochondrium there will be pain. You will also see that their right upper abdomen will become very tender. Some patients will have quite a lot of patients will have nausea and flatulence, constipation. Okay, they will have a lot of gas formation, and nausea will become very common in these patients because of accumulation of bile. Okay. Now biliary colic might occur if stone passage is not proper. If because there is cholelithiasis very common in these patients, as stone passage will not as stone passage does not occur properly, or whenever it does occur, the patient will have biliary colic. So severe pain will occur at that point of time. Colic is essentially unexplained, extremely high pain. ठीक है. Biliary colic occurs when these gallstones, which are present in the gallbladder of chronic cholecystitis patients, whenever it is moving around and whenever it is passing through your gallbladder, जब बहुत पेन होता ये patients को, ठीक है? So that is about acute and chronic cholecystitis. If you have doubts or if you want me to repeat anything, I didn't understand anything, please feel free to ask. Okay. Now tomorrow we'll start glomerular nephritis. Okay. Now before I start glomerular